Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Coil Cyclone 2 and we're going to be turning it into the HSW variant of the Coil Cyclone 2. Obviously I've customized this thing already. If you guys haven't seen my regular customization on this car, definitely go and check that out when you're done watching this video. This is a fantastic car. I'm super impressed with this thing. I'm super excited about it, and I'm definitely super excited to put the HSW upgrades on this thing. I'm interested to see how much they're actually going to cost, because on the Pfister Astron Custom, they were actually a little bit cheaper than I was expecting. So on this thing, I'm thinking they're probably going to be a little bit more on the expensive end of things, because it is a supercar and it is definitely one of the fastest cars in all of Grand Theft Auto Online. Even without the HSW upgrades, I think that this thing is still probably a top 10 supercar in the game, which is interesting. So we're just entering the LS car meet right now, and then obviously we're going to head inside here, go into the vehicle workshop, and then we're going to get to work on our HSW stuff with this car. So I'm excited to see what we can actually do to this thing. I was surprised to see that this car didn't actually have a turbo option when I was upgrading it for the original time. So I'm interested to see if there's an HSW turbo that we can add onto this thing or not. The HSW upgrade, it's actually only $475,000, which is a lot cheaper than I thought. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna blow 475 grand right now. For the brakes, we got to add the HSW brakes. That is obviously very important to do. For the engine, we have the HSW engine tune that we can add as well. So we got to go for that, obviously. Now we got to see, is there a transmission option? Oh, HSW race mode, HSW sports mode, or HSW race plus mode. That's interesting. So instead of having a turbo, it's just kind of a tune, it seems like. So we're gonna go ahead and add the HSW Race Plus mode to this thing for $100,000. For the suspension, we do have HSW suspension, cannot forget about that. And for the spoiler, do we have an HSW? Ooh, we do. We've got an HSW Street Wing and an HSW Race Wing. Kind of like the look of the Street Wing a little bit better. We're gonna go for that one. I believe that is all we can do to this car, unless there's something else. But I don't think there is. I think that's pretty much it. So that's really interesting. I'm excited to test this thing out. It's time. We're gonna take this thing outside, and we're gonna see how it performs differently versus the regular version of the Coil Cyclone 2. Obviously, this thing is HSW'd now, so it should be a lot faster. So let's go ahead and hop outside here, and we're gonna go ahead and just line this thing up on the road. And I'm gonna go ahead and brake boost it. Obviously the front wheels are still spinning because it's the handbrake. And off the line, this thing is very quick. Holy, it is way faster than it was before. That is a huge improvement. Now it also feels a little bit better handling wise. We'll get into that again in a minute here when we get to somewhere where I can actually, you know, kind of adequately test the handling. For right now, man, it's fast. It is so fast. This thing could get you into a lot of trouble. It's insanely fast. Wow, it's actually so fast that it's almost hard to drive. I'm sure that I'll get used to it. I'm sure that I will. Man, it's so fast. Oh man. Okay, when I did my original review of the Coil Cyclone 2, I was talking about it a little bit with its weird kind of handling. It handles like every other electric car in the game, except the Coil Cyclone 2 is way faster than every other electric car in the game, so it's very easy to make a mistake in this car. Now, cars that are electric in GTA generally don't handle very well, I find personally, but that's not to say they're bad. I just don't think that they handle as good as most other vehicles in the game. But you know, that could just be me. Maybe you guys really like how the electric cars handle, but for me, the electric cars feel very rest in peace to that guy. Let's just say it. As I was saying, the electric cars in GTA definitely feel a lot heavier, and I feel like they all kind of feel like they're front wheel drive biased, which is really weird. I would hope that they would all be rear wheel drive biased, but it doesn't really seem like they are. And the HSW Cyclone 2 it's one and the same. It's got a really weird handling balance. I don't know how to describe it. I don't like it. I like the car, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like how it handles. The car also seems to suffer from bumps a lot, and also something else that I'm really noticing is the front wheels have so much power that they're like putting skids on the road when I'm accelerating this thing like off the line. This car almost feels like it's front wheel drive, which is really concerning to me, and it feels really heavy on the front end. The front tires always seem to have grip, and the rear tires don't seem to have like any grip. So I've actually just got to test this straight up. It is all-wheel drive. It just feels like the front wheels are doing a little more than the rear wheels, which I do find that quite annoying because I don't like how this thing is handling things. You guys can see what I'm talking about. I think when I come off the line here, you guys will see the front wheels. They leave a skid mark and the rear wheels don't, which is really odd. That makes me think that the front wheels are actually getting more power than the rear wheels, which if that's the case, I'm just simply not a fan of that. That is quite annoying. Not the biggest fan of the Coil Cyclone 2, I won't lie. I love how this thing looks. I love the acceleration and the top speed too, now that it's an HSW vehicle. Top speed is absolutely fantastic, but as far as the handling goes, I'm quite disappointed in this thing. It's not my favorite car to drive, that's for sure. Yeah, the handling characteristics of the Cyclone 2 are very, very strange. I don't like them at all. So that is actually really disappointing. I wanted to like this car so badly, but when you make it into an HSW vehicle, the handling just becomes not very good. I don't know what the deal is, but it just loses grip and under the rear tires, and the front stays gripped up. But you don't want that because it just makes the car understeer, and then the back end just goes out. That's really disappointing. I'm actually very disappointed in this car. I won't lie. This thing costs $2.2 million plus the HSW upgrades. This thing's damn near $3 million, and it does not handle like a $3 million car should, in my opinion at least. I'd be very interested to know what you guys think of the Coil Cyclone 2's handling. Maybe I'm just going a little too fast around some of these corners. Maybe I just need to get more adjusted to the car, but my initial impression is that I really do not like how this car actually handles. Accelerates fantastic. The top speed also seems pretty decent as well. So no complaints about the acceleration or top speed. My only beef with this thing is just the handling is just not very good. So that is super disappointing. Obviously the car is also damaged quite badly. That could be playing a bit of a factor in it, but I think simply put, the handling is just not very good of this car. So if you guys have the Coil Cyclone 2 HSW on Grand Theft Auto Online, I'd be very interested to know your guys' thoughts on the handling of this thing in the comments down below on this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it useful or helpful in any way, a like is of course appreciated. Dislike, if not, of course. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will be doing some more HSW customizations on the channel very soon, so stay tuned for those. And until then, take care. Peace.